find your way back to fortune flow. I'm Sage, and tonight the numbers have something to say. Think about the leaders you admire most, the ones who walked into a room and changed it, the ones who spoke and people listened, the ones who seemed born knowing exactly who they were and exactly where they were going. Now think about you. You have an idea, a vision, burning so hot inside you it keeps you awake at night. You can see it perfectly, every detail, every step. And yet, you haven't started. You're waiting for the right moment, for more experience, for someone to tell you that you're ready. What if I told you that the very fact you're waiting is the most Life Path 1 thing you've ever done? Because Life Path 1 is the number of the born leader, and the born leader's greatest enemy is themselves. In numerology, your life path number is calculated from your date of birth. It is the most important number in your entire chart, your soul's blueprint, the core of who you came here to be. And life path 1 is where it all begins. 1 is the first number, the origin. In mathematics, every number that has ever existed, from the smallest fraction to the largest prime, is built from 1. Without 1, nothing else exists. In numerology, this isn't a coincidence. It's a declaration. People born with life path 1 carry the energy of initiation, of creation, of the force that moves first before anyone else dares to. History's most defining leaders, pioneers, and innovators, disproportionately life path 1s. The ones who built companies from nothing, the ones who challenged systems that everyone else accepted, the ones who simply refuse to follow. But here's what the books don't tell you. The number 1 carries as much shadow as it does light. And if you are a life path 1 and you are not living in your power right now, that shadow is running your life. The life path, 1 soul came into this world with 1 sacred assignment: to lead, not necessarily to lead armies, not necessarily to lead nations, but to be the first, to initiate, to blaze a trail that didn't exist before you walked it. 1S are original thinkers. They don't borrow ideas, they generate them. While others are still discussing possibilities, the 1 has already seen the outcome and is mapping the route. They are fiercely independent, not because they are antisocial, but because their vision is so specific, so clear, that working with others often feels like being slowed down. 1S have an extraordinary ability to begin, to launch, to manifest something from absolutely nothing. The blank page that terrifies everyone else, the 1 sees it as an invitation. When a life path 1 is in their power, they are unstoppable. They radiate a certainty that makes other people feel safe to follow. They lead not through force, but through clarity, through vision, through the simple, undeniable conviction that they know the way. But the same energy that makes 1 the most powerful number in numerology makes it the most self-sabotaging when it's out of alignment. Because here is what almost every life path 1 secretly carries: a terror of failure that is so profound, so foundational, that they would rather never try than try and be wrong. Think about that. The born leader, paralyzed by the fear of failing in front of others. It sounds like a contradiction. It isn't. It's the direct consequence of the gift. The 1 knows what they're capable of. They can see it, and because they can see it so clearly, the distance between that vision and where they currently stand feels impossible, shameful, exposing. So they wait, They prepare, they overthink, they delay. They call it not being ready yet. Numerology calls it the one's deepest wound. Does any of this sound familiar? You have a business idea you've been sitting on for months or years. You've done the research. You know it could work, but you haven't launched because it's not quite ready. You are the most capable person in your workplace, and everyone knows it. But when the promotion came up, you held back. Let someone else take it. Told yourself it wasn't the right time. In relationships, you are fiercely loyal and deeply giving, but you struggle to let anyone lead you, to ask for help, to admit vulnerability, because vulnerability feels like weakness, and weakness feels like the one thing you cannot afford. You have opinions, strong ones, but in group settings, you often hold back. You watch the room make a decision you know is wrong, and you stay quiet, because speaking up means standing out. And standing out means being judged, and being judged means they might see the gap between who you are and who you're supposed to be. That fear, that specific devastating fear, that is the one's shadow. Here's what nobody tells the Life Path 1. You were not given this number because you are already perfect. You were given this number because you are capable of something the world desperately needs. And the world's need does not wait for your readiness. Every great leader in history felt unready. Every pioneer who changed something felt the fear. The difference between the one who leads and the one who watches from the sidelines is not capability. It is the decision to begin anyway. The path doesn't appear before you start walking. For a Life Path 1 specifically, the path only appears under your feet as you move. Your clarity comes through action. Your confidence comes through doing, not through waiting until you feel ready. You will never feel ready. That is not a flaw. That is the design. Because the moment you begin, the number activates. The energy of 1 doesn't support preparation. It supports initiation. It doesn't reward the one who planned the longest. It rewards the one who moved first. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, this is just confirmation bias, you could apply this description to almost anyone. That's a fair challenge. Let me answer it. Confirmation bias would suggest you're seeing yourself in something vague and universal. But the Life Path 1 profile is specific. The combination of original thinking, fear of public failure, fierce independence, and the tendency to delay despite clear vision. That is a distinct psychological constellation. And across thousands of documented numerology case studies, this constellation appears in Life Path 1s at a rate that is statistically disproportionate. Carl Jung called it individuation, the process by which a person becomes what they were always meant to be. What's fascinating is that Jung's description of the individuation journey mirrors the Life Path 1 arc almost exactly. The call to lead, the resistance, the shadow confrontation, the breakthrough. You don't have to believe in numerology for this to be useful. You just have to be honest. Does this describe you? I want to leave you with one question. Not what is your Life Path number? Not is numerology real? This question, what would you start if you already knew you were ready? Because you are a Life Path 1. You were born ready. You have always been ready. The number doesn't wait for your permission. Your gifts don't wait for your confidence. The world that needs what you carry is not going to wait forever. The leader inside you has been quiet for too long. It's time. If you are a Life Path 1, I want to hear from you. Drop a 1 in the comments. Tell me, what is the one thing you've been waiting to start? I read every single comment, and if this video reached someone you know, someone who has been waiting too long, send it to them. Sometimes the message lands harder when it comes from someone who believes in you. Next week, we go deeper into Life Path 2, the Peacemaker's Secret Pain. If you're a 2 or you love one, you won't want to miss it. I am Sage. Stay blessed, stay aligned, peace and